Iron Maiden's World Slavery Tour was the craziest tour in the band's career. And no, not only because of its length, but also because it was on this tour when Iron Maiden started mastering the art of friendly trolling of their fans.
It's just outrageous.
The art which, as we all know, they will continue mastering for the remainder of their career. So let's take a look at the incident which has started it all for Iron Maiden. Here you go. In August of 1984, Iron Maiden was in the early stages of their grueling World Slavery Tour, a marathon of metal madness which to this very day remains the craziest run Iron Maiden had in their entire career. With a mind-blowing amount of 189 shows, the band performed in just under 11 months. 189 shows, which would eventually completely exhaust and drain Iron Maiden. Now, most Iron Maiden fans of course know this tour by the 4 shows played at the Long Beach Arena, which eventually made it to everyone's beloved Live After Death, or by the first Iron Maiden concerts behind the Iron Curtain in Poland, but in reality there were many more noteworthy dates than that. And so on August 22nd, the band rolled into Arma Di Taggia, Italy to play yet another concert, which may be in the top 10 of the most weird concerts in Iron Maiden's entire career. Towards the last third of the set, Bruce Dickinson, clearly in a mischievous mood, decides to rewrite the lyrics to several Iron Maiden songs, including one of Iron Maiden's most provocative songs, 22 Acacia Avenue, turning it into an absurd ode to cheese. And so on that night, Charlotte the Harlot became Charlotte the Cheesemonger, and the song's seedy underbelly was swapped for the world of Wensleydale and Stilton. Both, in case you don't know, are the types of British cheese. Both I don't think that are that good. It all began when in his speech before 22 Acacia Avenue, Bruce Dickinson accidentally introduced it as Iron Maiden, after which he made a very British joke about it, which I'm sure most Italians had no way of understanding.
You can have a drink on me if I had the money, but I haven't, so you'll have to buy me one. It's large whiskey. It's a song called the Iron Maiden! Oh, fuck it. Done it again. Now, bollocks to all that. Just a minute. Sorry, it's a joke. It's a joke. This is no way to run a cheese shop, I tell you. 22 Acacia Avenue!
And after that, Bruce decided to go even further, completely changing the lyrics to 22 Acacia Avenue, making it full of inside jokes, which no one in the venue, except for the band themselves, would most likely have any way of understanding. And you know what the craziest thing is? I don't think that most people in the crowd even noticed that. To understand Bruce's lyrical detour, we have to make a detour of our own to British comedy legends Monty Python and their famous cheese shop sketch, which came out roughly 12 years before that, and in which a customer walks into a shop looking for cheese, only to find that the shopkeeper has none. And the thing is that, I don't know why, but this now more than 50-year-old sketch still cracks me up every time I see it. No, seriously, it's just brilliant.
I'll have a look, sir. No.
But the thing is that Bruce was actually a huge fan of Monty Python, and in one of the interviews roughly 20 years after this incident, Bruce actually spoke about how he had to go out of his way to meet each one of his idols. And even more, this crossover between the world of Iron Maiden and Monty Python was actually just the first one in the line of several, which finally culminated in an actual collaboration on the band's 1988 single Can I Play With Madness, and more specifically a video to it, in which Monty Python's legendary Graham Chapman, who by the way was actually a huge rock fan, made a very, very special cameo. And so yeah, it looks like this little update to 22 Acacia Avenue, and later on to Run to the Hills as well, was in fact Bruce Dickinson's way of incorporating his favorite childhood show into his day or night job, which would actually have made some sense if the band would be performing that show somewhere in Britain where people would actually get the joke. But why did he decide to do this in Italy? Well, here's where it becomes trickier. One of the most popular fans' theories as per why exactly Bruce Dickinson decided to do that is based on the whole fact that it is no secret that the Power Slave Tour was extremely exhausting, both physically and mentally, for everyone at Iron Maiden, but especially for Bruce Dickinson, and he has spoken about it quite a lot afterwards. And this could have been true if only this incident would not have taken place only about 10 dates into the tour. So they couldn't have been possibly that exhausted yet. And so, in my opinion, the answer to the reasoning behind it lies in yet another early 2000s Bruce Dickinson interview to Kerrang! Magazine, which can actually tell us quite a lot about the way Iron Maiden see their music and their fan base, sometimes deliberately provoking the latter and disturb the status quo to raise the questions which are important to them. And it might have actually all began right then in 1984. It wasn't just the length of the tour, because I was pretty fit then, but we were playing places where people didn't seem to care that much about metal or Maiden. We were just another circus act going through town. I hated that. To a certain extent, we were all taking the piss a bit at that stage, because it was like, if these people don't care about what we do, why should we give a shit? Said Bruce Dickinson about the legendary World Slavery Tour. And this short phrase, as weird as it may sound, may actually tell us everything we need to know about Iron Maiden's relationship with their music and performance as a final product and their fan base, and explain quite a lot of the rather difficult decisions this band has had to make throughout the years. As on one hand, it may seem like Iron Maiden have never actually taken themselves too seriously, and they definitely never shown away from making fun of themselves or anything surrounding their music. But if we take a closer look, throughout their career, it has always been done by the band in the very spirit of Monty Python's satire, underlining the absurdity and frustration around certain aspects of music business overall, whether it was the 1984 cheese shop incident or a 1986 lip-sync protest on a German television. As in reality, everything this band has ever done was to not compromise their music and the relationship between them and the real diehard Iron Maiden fanbase. And this, my friends, is exactly why Iron Maiden still to this very day remain one of the greatest heavy metal bands on the planet. But anyways guys, just thought that on this Up the Irons episode I should talk about the incident which I realized many Iron Maiden fans had never heard of before. So please let me know what you guys think about it, and whether I should pay attention to more of such little and lesser known incidents from Iron Maiden's long and very interesting career. Because the thing is, there were actually quite a lot of those, so please let us know in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for watching the short video guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!